Welcome back to the deep dive. Today, I want to start with a question that might feel a little uncomfortable for you.
Okay.
Actually, scratch that. It might feel like I've been hiding in your living room and just, you know, taking notes on your life.
That is always a really dangerous way to start a deep dive, I have to say.
I know, I know. But stick with me here. I want you, the listener, to honestly ask yourself right now, do you feel like you are the person who is constantly giving?
Right.
Like you're the one organizing the plans, listening to the problems, lending the money, doing the favors. You give and you give. And deep down, maybe so deep you barely even admit it to yourself, you are waiting for the reward.
You're waiting for the payoff.
Exactly. You're waiting for the thank you, the appreciation, the moment where someone finally says, wow, you are so good. Let me take care of you for a change.
But that moment never really comes, does it?
It never comes. Instead, when you finally need support, when you're the one who is drowning or just, having a really bad day, you look around and the room is empty.
Yeah.
Or even worse, the people you helped, the people you poured all your energy into, they treat you with disrespect or just total indifference.
It's the nice person paradox.
Yeah.
And it is incredibly painful because it completely violates our basic understanding of how the world should work.
That is exactly what we are unpacking today. We have a stack of really fascinating material notes, psychological breakdowns, all of that completely flips the script on kindness.
Mm-hmm.
Because we grow up believing that being self-sacrificing leads to love. It's that Disney movie logic, right?
Mm-hmm.
But the deep dive today suggests the exact opposite. Overgiving doesn't bring rewards.
No, it
It
doesn't.
creates a dynamic where you're almost guaranteed to be undervalued.
It's a hard pill to swallow because it goes directly against our cultural programming. We think, if I do more, I'll be loved more.
Right.
It's an equation we learned so early on. But the source material we're looking at today argues that when you turn yourself into a servant, the world treats you like a servant, not like a king or a queen. The world just reflects back to you exactly how you treat yourself.
So our mission today is to figure out why we do this. Why can't we just say no? We're going to trace this right back to childhood, look at the strange energy dynamics of giving versus receiving.
Which is fascinating, by the way.
Oh, it really is.
Yeah.
And we're going to get into the physics of that, not just the feelings. And most importantly, we're going to learn how you can stop being a doormat without suddenly becoming a jerk.
Right. And I want to set the context here immediately. This isn't some productivity hack.
Right.
This isn't about time management or learning to just be a bit more assertive in your Tuesday meetings. This is about a deep-seated emotional program running on autopilot.
It's the software running in the background that just completely drains your battery.
Precisely. The source material uses this powerful image that really stuck with me. It says we are running around performing duties, exhausting ourselves, and expecting a plaque. Like a gold medal, a Best Human Award.
Yeah.
But instead of a plaque, the universe hands us a slap.
A slap. I mean, that feels a bit aggressive, doesn't it? Like, I'm out here trying to be a good person and the universe just smacks me in the face.
It feels aggressive, but think of it as a wake-up call. It's a harsh correction. The material calls it a cosmic slap or a toucat. It's the moment reality hits you and says, hey, this strategy isn't working.
Right.
And today we're going to look at exactly why that slap happens and how you can dodge it.
Okay, let's unpack this.
Yeah.
I want to start with the profile of the person who really needs to hear this.
Mm.
Because I think a lot of us justify our behavior as just being nice. We think, oh, I'm just a generous person.
Sure. The profile is the giver. This is the person who rushes to aid anyone in distress. If a friend is sad, they drop everything. If a family member needs money, they open their wallet. They are the ultimate fixer.
Yep.
But the source material points out a fundamental flaw in this operating system. It's not just kindness. It's a structural issue. It's what they call the flow problem.
The flow problem. Break that down for me.
Think of it like a circuit or even just a breathing cycle. Relationships and life in general rely on a flow of energy, input and output, inhale and exhale.
Okay.
If you are 100% focused on transmitting, sending out energy, time, money, emotional support, you have disrupted the flow. You are essentially a one-way street, and if you are always transmitting, you physically and energetically cannot receive.
It's like trying to exhale forever. Eventually you just pass out.
Exactly. You pass out, or you deeply resent the people who are just watching you turn blue. And this leads us to one of the most technical and interesting concepts in the material, the argument about energy dynamics and polarity. Now, we have to be very careful here to detach this from gender.
Right. The sources use the terms masculine and feminine to describe types of energy, but they aren't talking about men and women.
Correct. We need to get technical for a second about polarity. Think of it like electricity or magnetism. You have a transmitter and a receiver, a positive pole and a negative pole.
Okay, so input and output.
Exactly. The masculine principle in this framework, and again, this applies to you regardless of your biology, is the output. It's the arrow leaving the bow. It's the energy of doing, fixing, protecting, initiating, and organizing. It's a penetrative force moving out into the world.
Got it. It's the get stuff done energy. And the feminine.
The feminine principle is the receiver. It's the cup that holds the water. It's the energy of being, allowing, nurturing, accepting, and holding space. It is the vacuum that draws things in.
So let's apply this to our nice person. If I am a woman, for example, but I am constantly solving everyone's problems, paying for everything, driving everyone around, and managing everyone's emotions.
Then you are operating almost exclusively in your masculine energy. You are in output mode. You are the provider. You are the protector. And here is the kicker, the part that usually blows people's minds.
Way out of me.
When you are in that mode of hypergiving, you are broadcasting a very specific signal to the universe and to the people around you.
What's the signal? I'm helpful.
No, the signal is I don't need anyone.
Oof, that hits hard.
It's physics. If your cup is full of your own doing, there is no room for anyone else to put anything in. Even if you are crying inside for help, your energy says, I can handle it alone. I am the fortress.
Wow.
And the consequence is fascinating and tragic. Because you signal that you don't need anything, the world steps back. Your partner steps back. Your friends step back.
Because there's nothing for them to do. You've already done it all.
Exactly. You inadvertently repel the very support you are craving because you refuse to be in a posture of receiving. You haven't created a vacuum for them to fill.
That is actually really counterintuitive when you think about it. We think we're signaling, look how good I am, please love me, but we're actually signaling, I am a closed loop, stay away.
And that creates the vicious cycle. The giver stands there completely exhausted thinking, I do everything for everyone, why does no one help me?
Right.
They don't realize that their hyper-independence has created a dynamic where no one can help them. You are effectively swatting away people's hands before they can even offer a lift.
So let's look at the origin of this. How does this happen? Is this just how some people are wired? Is there a martyr gene we can blame this on?
The sources are very clear on this. It is not genetic. It is learned behavior. It is a blueprint we picked up in childhood. It's a survival strategy that has just outlived its usefulness.
Okay, so let's go back to the scene of the crime, or the origin story.
Yeah.
What are we looking for in childhood?
We have to look at what was modeled to us about love and value. The material gives a very specific, poignant example of a child watching their parents. Let's call it the servile parent dynamic.
Paint the picture for us.
Imagine a child sitting at the kitchen table. They are watching their mother, who tirelessly serves the father. She cooks the meal, she serves the plate, she cleans the table, she irons his shirts, she brings his tea to the couch while he watches TV.
Just constant motion.
Yes, she creates a cloud of comfort around him. She never complains. She never asks for anything for herself. She is basically a machine of service.
And the father, what is he doing in this scenario?
He takes it for granted. He rarely says thank you. He doesn't treat her like a queen, he treats her like a utility. He expects the tea to be there. If it's not there, he might ask, where's my tea? But he never asks, are you tired?
And the child is just watching this whole movie play out day after day.
The child is a data recorder. They are downloading the rules of life. And the conclusion the child draws is, this is what love looks like. Love is service. To be a good woman or a good person, I must serve without asking for anything.
It's a terrifying lesson to internalize.
It is, because they learn that if I have needs, I am being difficult. But if I serve, I am safe.
It's almost like they learn that they don't actually exist unless they are being useful to someone else.
Yeah.
Like, I serve, therefore I am.
Precisely. They learn that invisibility is a virtue. And they learn that the only way to maintain a relationship is to overfunction so the other person can underfunction.
There was another story in the source material that I absolutely loved. It made me laugh, but it also made me so angry because I recognized it immediately from my own life. The story of the princess friend. Can we talk about that?
Oh, this is a crucial anecdote. It illustrates the dynamic perfectly, and it moves us from the family unit to the friend group. So the speaker describes a childhood friend group. They would gather to make a specific dish, let's say a big grain salad, something that requires a lot of prep work and ingredients.
Like a potluck situation, but where you cook together.
Right. And everyone is assigned a task. The giver kids are assigned the heavy lifting. You bring the grain, you bring the heavy vegetables, you bring the expensive olive oil, you do the chopping. They are working hard.
They're earning their keep.
Exactly. But there was this one friend, let's call her the princess.
Every group has one. Every single group.
The princess would bring nothing. Or maybe if she was feeling exceptionally generous, she'd bring the salt. Or she wouldn't show up until the food was already ready. She'd breeze in, looking great, relaxed, laughing.
And here is the part that drives me absolutely crazy. The group didn't kick her out. Logically, the giver kids who are sweating over the onions should be looking at her thinking, who do you think you are?
But they don't. That's the twist. The source highlights this specific dynamic where the group actually fawns over her. Oh, thank God you made it. Come sit here. Do you want a drink? My mom made cake. Please stay. They would essentially bribe her to stay.
While the kids who did all the actual work, who brought the expensive ingredients and did all the chopping, were just there, ignored. Why does that happen? Is it charisma? Is it some sort of manipulation?
It's value signaling. This is a really deep sociological point. The princess signals, my presence is the gift. She believes she is valuable just because she exists.
Wow.
The giver signals, my labor is the gift. They believe they are only valuable if they work. And the world generally agrees with your own assessment of your value.
That is profound. If you tell the world, I am a worker, the world gives you work. If you tell the world, I am a prize, the world treats you like a prize.
Exactly. The princess has the audacity to just be. And everyone loves her for it because she's fun, she's relaxed, her nervous system is calm. The givers are stressed, frantic, and looking for validation. That energy is heavy. People prefer the light energy of the princess.
So the lesson the child learns from that interaction is incredibly warped.
Well, the giver child learns the wrong lesson. They look at the princess and think, she creates a lot of drama, but everyone loves her. I better work harder to secure my spot. They fear that if they stop bringing the heavy ingredients, they will be exiled.
That connects to that fear of conflict, right? The sulk.
Yes. This is the other root, the deep fear of the sulk. Many people who can't set boundaries are actually terrified of someone being mad at them, even just a little bit.
Where does that come from? Is that also from the parents?
Usually from being the mediator child. If you grew up in a house where parents fought, or where there was a lot of tension, maybe a volatile father or a depressive mother, you might have internalized the idea that if people around me are unhappy, I am unsafe.
It's my job to fix the vibe.
If dad is mad, the house is dangerous. So I will be extra good, extra quiet, and fetch his slippers so he calms down. You learn to manage other people's emotions to ensure your own safety. Fast forward 20 years, and you are an adult who cannot say no to a coworker because the idea of them frowning at you triggers a primal fear of abandonment or danger.
It creates this identity, right?
Yeah.
The good kid. We love being called the good girl or the good boy. It feels like such a huge compliment when we're young.
It's the ultimate trap.
Unpack that. Why is being good a trap? I thought we were supposed to be good.
Because in this context, goodness is equated with self-erasure. A good girl doesn't cause trouble. A good girl doesn't have needs that inconvenience others. A good girl sacrifices her last slice of pizza. We get addicted to the praise of being low maintenance.
Oh, she's so easygoing. She never complains.
And we wear that like a badge of honor, not realizing it's actually a tombstone for our personality. We are burying ourselves to be good. We prune away all the parts of us that are difficult, opinionated, or needy until there's nothing left but a polite smile.
But here is where it gets really interesting, and honestly, a little dark. The expert in the source material suggests that this isn't just about us being saintly altruists. There is a shadow side to this generosity.
This is the part that usually makes people very defensive. But it's liberating if you can hear it. The expert argues that often our overgiving is not about love at all. It is about fear. It is actually a form of manipulation.
A manipulation, that's a strong word. I mean, most people listening are going to say, no, I just really want to help. I'm a kind person.
I know, but let's look at the subconscious mechanics. If I give you everything you want, if I never say no, if I make myself totally indispensable to you, I am ensuring you can't leave me.
Whoa. So it's an insurance policy.
It's a strategy to manage abandonment. If I am useful, I have value. If I am not useful, I am worthless. So I am giving to you not because you necessarily need it, but because I need to quell my anxiety about being unlovable.
So when we say, I'm just trying to help, deep down, the real subtext might be, please don't leave me.
Or please see me. Or please validate me. It's transactional. We are buying love with service. And the problem is, Love can't be bought, so we end up with empty pockets and empty hearts. We have these covert contrasts.
Over contracts. Explain that.
It's an unspoken agreement in your head. I did X for you, so you should do Y for me. But you never actually told the other person about the contract, so when they don't fulfill it, you feel incredibly betrayed, and they are just confused.
This brings us to what the Source calls the universe's slap, or the tucket.
The toe kit. It's a very vivid image.
Why does the universe have to slap us? Why can't it just send a polite email or a gentle nudge?
Because we don't listen to the email. We delete the email. The universe, or the system of life, however you want to frame it, seeks balance. That is the fundamental law. If you are overgiving, you are tipping the scales, you are creating an extreme imbalance.
Okay, I'm with you.
So to correct that imbalance, life will send you people who undergive. Life will send you narcissists. Life will send you takers.
Wait, so you're saying I attract these people because I'm overgiving? It's not just bad luck.
It's structural. You create a vacuum. If you give 10, the dynamic requires someone to give 0 to maintain the dysfunction you've set up. You are actually training people to treat you poorly. If you always pick up the check, people stop reaching for their wallets. Not because they are evil, but because you taught them not to.
That is really tough to hear. We feel like victims, like, why does everyone take advantage of me? But you're saying we are literally handing them the instruction manual on how to use us.
We are holding the door open and saying, walk all over me, please. It makes me feel like a good person. And then we are shocked when there are footprints on our back. This is why givers often feel betrayed or backstabbed. They expect a transaction. I gave 10, so you should give 10. But that contract was never signed.
Yeah, when that return on investment doesn't come, that's when the duty kicks in.
This is a crucial diagnostic tool, the difference between heart and duty. The Source makes a really big deal about distinguishing these two energies.
How do we tell the difference? Because sometimes duty feels like the right thing to do. Like, you take care of your sick parent out of duty, right?
Well, let's look at the feeling behind it. Heart feels light. It has an expansion to it. It feels like, I want to do this because I love you and I have the energy, and if I get absolutely nothing back, that's totally fine.
Okay.
Duty feels heavy. It feels like a weight on your chest. It involves the words, I have to drive them. I have to listen to their problems. I have to pay for this lunch.
To have to. That's the red flag.
Once it becomes a have to, the energy shifts entirely. You become resentful, and people can feel that resentment. It poisons the relationship you are trying to save. You're smiling, but your energy is screaming, you owe me.
There was an anecdote about a carpool situation that illustrated this perfectly.
Yeah.
Can you retell that?
Yes, it's a great example. There was a woman who always insisted on driving her friend group to events. I'll drive. My car is big, I'll do it. At first, it came from a nice place. But eventually, she started hating it.
I can completely imagine that. You're the designated driver, you can't drink, you're dealing with traffic, finding parking.
Exactly. She'd be driving, gripping the steering wheel, just seething with anger. She's looking in the rearview mirror thinking, look at them in the backseat, laughing, having fun. Why doesn't anyone else offer? They are so incredibly selfish.
But the twist is, the friends would have been totally fine taking a taxi.
Exactly. One day, she finally snapped and said something really passive-aggressive about always driving. And her friends looked at her, completely confused, and said, we can just take an Uber. We thought you liked driving.
Oh my gosh. That is the tragedy right there.
She appointed herself the martyr. The group would have happily split an Uber and had a drink with her. But she created her own prison of duty because she thought that's what she had to do to be valuable to the group. She thought, if I don't drive, I'm just another passenger. And passengers are replaceable.
She thought, if I don't drive, they won't even want me there.
When in reality, they just wanted her there, not her car.
So we've diagnosed the problem. We've looked at the childhood roots, the princess trauma, the energy imbalance. Now comes the million-dollar question. How do we fix it? How do we stop being the doormat without becoming the villain?
This is the practical part, and I have to say it's not an overnight fix. It happens in phases. Phase 1 is awareness and naming. You cannot change what you don't acknowledge.
So catching yourself in the act.
Right. Let's say you're about to say yes to organizing the office party when you are already completely swamped. You feel that impulse to raise your hand. Stop. Freeze frame. Ask yourself, why am I saying yes? Is it because I want to? Is it heart? Or is it because I'm afraid they will sulk? Is it duty?
You have to actually label the emotion in real time.
This is fear of abandonment. This is a feeling of unworthiness. This is me trying to be the good girl. Just naming it takes away some of its power. You separate the I from the feeling.
But then you have to deal with the feeling, and that's the scary part. That's phase 2.
Confronting the monster in the dark. We treat our fears like monsters in the basement. We lock the door and we never go down there. We stay really busy upstairs so we don't hear them growling. But the source suggests a visualization. Imagine you take a flashlight and go down into that dark basement. You shine the light right on the monster.
And what do you see?
You don't see a monster. You see a 5-year-old child. You see your inner child shaking, terrified that mommy is going to leave or daddy is going to yell.
That reframe is so powerful. It changes it from a horror movie to a moment of deep compassion. You're not fighting a demon, you're comforting a kid.
Exactly. When you realize your inability to say no is just a scared little kid inside you, you don't get mad at yourself. You can nurture that part.
The source suggests sitting with the feeling instead of distracting yourself, which sounds awful, to be honest.
This is very hard. Usually when we feel that anxiety that, oh God, I have to say no feeling, we distract. We grab our phone, we eat, we call a friend to vent, we do anything to numb the sensation. The advice here is don't. Just sit there. Feel the knot in your stomach. Say, okay, I feel lonely, I feel scared. Let's look at this fear.
And once we are looking at it, we can talk to it. Phase 3 is reprogramming.
Yeah.
And this is where people might roll their eyes, but stick with us here.
Phase 3 is where we have to update the software. We have to talk to the subconscious directly.
This is the inner child work.
It is, but let's strip away the therapy speak for a minute. Imagine your subconscious is a security guard. He was hired when you were 5 years old. His instructions were, if mom gets mad, we might die. So keep everyone happy at all costs.
Okay, so he's been on patrol for 30 years with severely outdated orders.
Exactly. He doesn't know you're 35, you have a job, you pay your own mortgage, and you can absolutely survive if someone is mildly annoyed with you. So when you try to say no to a request, the security guard pulls the fire alarm. He floods your system with cortisol.
That's that panic feeling in the chest, that intense urge to fix it immediately.
Right. So you can't just willpower your way through that. You have to go down to the security booth and update the orders.
What does that conversation actually sound like? Give me the script.
It's weirdly formal. You literally say internally, I appreciate that you are trying to keep me safe. I know you think this conflict is dangerous, but I want to inform you that I am an adult now. The danger is gone. We are safe to set this boundary. You can stand down.
It sounds a little crazy, but acknowledging the intent of the anxiety that it's trying to help, not hurt you, actually lowers the volume on it immediately.
It really does. You are validating the fear, but correcting the fact, I see you, I hear you, but I'm driving the bus now.
So we do the internal work, but then comes the external work. Phase 4, establishing the new you. This is where the rubber meets the road.
You have to introduce your social circle to the new version of yourself. The source calls it the new person concept. You have to essentially declare, the old version of me would have said yes to this, but the new version cannot.
That is terrifying. Because the immediate fear is, everyone is going to leave me.
That is the fear. If I stop giving, the transaction is over and they will walk away. And the honest truth, some of them will.
Yeah, we have to be real about that. We can't promise rainbows here.
But, and this is the most important, but of the deep dive, who leaves? The parasites leave. The people who are only there for the free ride leave.
The people who like the utility you, not the real you.
Exactly. When you stop being a free supply of labor and emotional support, the people who are exploiting that will disappear. And that is not a loss. That is the trash taking itself out.
And what about the real friends?
The real friends stay. In fact, the source argues that when you value yourself, others begin to value you more.
You become valuable rather than just useful.
Think about it. Do you respect the person who agrees with everything you say and does whatever you want? Or do you respect the person who has a spine, who has opinions, who says, I can't do that, but I'd love to see you next week?
The person with boundaries is always more magnetic. It's the paradox of the whole thing.
We think boundaries push people away. Actually, boundaries show people where you end and they begin. It allows for a real relationship between two whole people, rather than a merger between a host and a parasite.
There's a great metaphor about the fly on the elephant regarding this fear. I want to touch on that before we wrap up.
Yes. This is about perspective. When our nervous system is dysregulated, when that security guard is pulling the fire alarm, we perceive small conflicts as life-threatening events.
Oh no, if I don't make the salad, she'll be mad, and it feels like an elephant sitting on our chest.
Exactly. We see them as elephants. But when you stand in your power, when you realize your own worth, when you update that software, you look down and realize, It was just a fly.
Oh, she's mad I didn't bring the salad. Okay. SWAT.
That's her problem, not mine. The problem shrinks because you have grown. You realize that someone else's disappointment is not your catastrophe.
I love that. It's about resizing the threat to match reality.
It is, and it brings us back to that state of balance. The goal isn't to become a selfish hermit who never helps anyone ever again. The goal is to give from a full cup, to give from heart, not duty.
And when you do that, the resentment vanishes. You're actually
Yes.
nicer.
You are authentically nice, not manipulatively nice. And the people around you can trust your yes because they know you are fully capable of saying no.
That's a huge point. If you
Mhm.
can't say no, your yes is meaningless.
Precisely. If you only have one option, it's not a choice, it's a compulsion.
So we've covered a lot of ground today. We've gone from the childhood kitchen to the subconscious basement. Let's wrap this up with some key takeaways for the listener.
Sure, let's distill it down.
Yeah.
Number one, it's a trauma response. Overgiving is often a trauma response, not just kindness. It's rooted in a fear of unworthiness and a childhood lesson that love is conditional on service.
Right.
Number two, the physics of energy. It disrupts the energetic balance. If you signal, I don't need help, playing solely in that output energy, the universe won't send help. You have to create space to receive.
Make the vacuum.
Exactly. Number three, sit with the fear. The solution requires sitting with the discomfort. You have to be willing to feel the fear of the sulk and do it anyway. And finally, update the software. You need to talk to your subconscious security guard and let him know that the war is over. You are safe now.
And the result is a life where you are respected, not just used.
A life where you are the protagonist of your own story, not the supporting character who dies in the first act to save everyone else.
I have a final thought I want to throw out there, something for you to really mull over. We talked extensively about how overgiving hurts us. But I want to ask, is it possible that our overgiving is actually hurting the people we are trying to help?
That is the perfect provocative question to leave on.
Because if I am always fixing your messes, if I am always paying your bail, metaphorically or literally, am I helping you? Or am I robbing you of the chance to grow up?
You are enabling helplessness. You are keeping them small so you can feel big. You are preventing them from experiencing their own slap from the universe that might actually force them to grow.
Boom. That's the hard truth right there. Are you helping them, or are you just soothing your own anxiety by controlling the outcome? Look at the things you do out of duty. If you stop doing them tomorrow, would the world actually end? Or would the people around you finally step up and learn how to tie their own shoes?
Usually they step up, but they won't do it until you step back.
So, that is your challenge for the week. Try saying no to one small thing, one tiny duty that feels heavy. Don't offer to drive. Don't volunteer to take the notes in the meeting. Just don't, and watch what happens.
Observe it. Does the sky fall? Does the earth crack open? Or does someone else just say, okay, I'll do it?
My bet is on the latter. Thank you so much for diving deep with us today. This was honestly a little therapeutic for me personally.
Me too. It's a good reminder for all of us.
We'll see you next time on The Deep Dive.
Our day.
Take care of yourselves, and remember, put your own oxygen mask on first.
Absolutely.
Bye for now.